This is Sweets for Miles. I'm the owner, the baker, and the cake decorator. And this bakery is in memory of my son Miles. Miles was diagnosed at 4 months old with hydrocephalus, 2 years old with cancer, and in 2008 Miles lost his battle to cancer. In between all of that, I lost my mom in 2005, and my dad, he died 6 months before my son, and then 6 months after Miles died, my house put on fire and I lost everything. I ain't that chick that gives up easily. I am that chick that works hard and gets what she wants.
I ain't that chick.
It's about self-empowerment. It's about self-awareness. It's about self-respect.
Hey guys, I'm Monique here in Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm in front of Sweets for Miles, my bakery. I want to invite you guys to come on in and check it out. I'm the baddest baker around. You gotta come see it for yourself. Come on in.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode and another season 5 of I Ain't That Chick. I am Rae-Shan and we are back with all new women and all new episodes this season. Now I am here with Miss Monique of Sweets for Miles. Monique, please say hello to everybody out there.
Hello everyone, how are you?
Now Monique, we are here in Jersey City, New Jersey. We are here in your bakery, and you guys, I've shown you some shots of the bakery and it is absolutely beautiful, and you can see all this deliciousness in the background. We're going to get to some of that later. But Monique, the name of your bakery is Sweets for Miles. Where did you come up with that name?
Well, the name Sweets for Miles is it's a bakery is in memory of my son Miles.
Tell
His name
us
is Miles.
in memory.
In memory.
In memory. Tell us about Miles.
Miles, he was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 2.
Okay.
And Miles went through a lot. Surgery after surgery, chemo after chemo, radiation after radiation, and Miles had a brain tumor. It was an astrocytoma, which was located in the 3rd ventricle of his brain, which is the baby soft spot.
Okay.
And Miles actually was sick since 4 months old, but he wasn't diagnosed with cancer until 2.
Real. So, was Miles your only child?
Yes, at the time.
At the time. So your baby is 6 months old?
I was 22 years old when I had him.
22 years old. You're young, starting life, living, and you have this beautiful baby.
And in college at that.
And in college, and you find out your baby is, sick or has cancer. How did you feel?
At 4 months old, Miles had hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. And he had his first surgery at 4 months old. It was an 8-hour surgery. I thought I was going to pass out.
Because you're a mom, and moms want to take care of and protect their babies.
And there's nothing I could do.
Nothing you could do.
And I had to sit there and watch him in ICU for days. And as time went on, he started. What happened was at first, the baby was really fussy, and he wasn't drinking milk. So my mom went back to old school and started giving him that pet milk with the Karo syrup, and he loved it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Sweets, because it was sweet.
So I thought everything was fine until one day, you could actually see his forehead swelling up. So I went and took him to a pediatrician, and she thought he had meningitis. So we ended up going to one hospital, which could not help him, so we ended up going to the Jersey City Medical Center, and that's when they realized he had hydrocephalus. He needed surgery right away.
And this is 6 months old?
4 months old.
4 months old?
Yes. And hydrocephalus is when there's a ventricle in your brain that's blocked. So your spinal fluid his cerebral spinal fluid was not going down his spine because it was a blockage. So what happened was the fluid was building up in his brain, it was becoming swollen. Which later on, I did not realize that. I knew it was a blockage, but nobody ever told me why. And why it came later on at 2 years old was a tumor.
So the tumor was the cause of all this. So the doctors never diagnosed?
Never diagnosed him.
How was that? How was that?
Because which is so crazy, is that the doctor that did the surgery, he was the same doctor that did his circumcision, because he couldn't get circumcised in the hospital.
Okay.
He had to wait a few weeks later, and he was just a general pediatric surgeon. He wasn't a specialized surgeon.
Okay.
So on one particular day, we were walking and it was raining. And the grates outside, it got slippery. So we both fell.
You fell down?
We both fell down. And Miles was 2 years old. And he was kind of knocked unconscious a little bit, but because he had the shunt, I was worried, so the ambulance came. They did an MRI, and that's how they found the tumor.
So do you
From
think,
a fall.
was that a blessing in disguise?
It was a blessing.
Okay. Do you think Miles would have still been here had they maybe found the tumor sooner?
No, because believe it or not, Miles didn't even die from cancer.
Okay. Because this is, first of all, you're a woman of faith.
Yes.
And you have this baby, and your baby has a tumor. Do you ever question God and say, God, how did you do this? Why did you do this?
You know what's so ironic? I never asked why until after he died.
Okay. Did you ever get an answer to that question?
No. But I kind of figured out what the answer was.
What was the answer?
Well, I had an autopsy, private autopsy done.
Okay.
Because I thought they killed him. The doctors, I really did. He went through a lot. And when the autopsy was done, Miles had so many other problems. His brain tumors were coming back, but multiple ones, multiple.
At that young age?
Yes.
Did the doctors ever say why? Because you know, you as a mom, especially a young mom, you're looking forward to your kids growing up and playing and ripping and running in the streets and Miles playing football and doing all the things that young boys do.
They never said why. They said it's something that happens. And come to find out that when I was pregnant and he was being formed, the tumor was being formed. It was a slow growing tumor.
So did you?
It was embedded like in the center of his brain in the baby soft spot.
Did you think that maybe it has something to do with your body and your chemical makeup?
I went through genetic testing when I got pregnant with my daughter, and they said it was something that just happened.
So, tell me more about Miles.
So, you want to start?
You can start whatever you
okay,
like to
so,
share.
like I said, the doctor was a general surgeon, so he couldn't help us. We referred to University Hospital in New York.
Okay.
Where we met the neurosurgeon, and the tumor was so big, he needed surgery immediately.
And how old is he at this point?
He's 2.
2 years old. Okay.
He's 2 years old. So they did the surgery, which was about 8 hours. And because I have such a great support system with my family, everybody was there.
Yeah, that's family. They just love on you.
And we have a family full of women.
Okay.
So it was, everybody went through with this because he was the first and only grandchild.
Okay.
First and only great nephew. First and only nephew at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did the surgery. Things started looking up to me. I never in my mind thought that he would die. Never, ever, ever. And so what I did was I dedicated my whole life to my son. I did 22 years old. I didn't go to parties. I didn't do none of that stuff.
You were a mom.
I stayed home with him. Everybody was partying, going to movies, all of this. I stayed home and I took care of him. He was everything to me. I ate, drank, and slept him. But I am educating myself. The doctors, whatever they told me, I wrote it down and I went home and I looked it up. And I educated myself on cancer.
What does that do to the condition of your heart, the state of your heart at such a young age when your baby is sick and there's nothing you can do?
Broken.
It's broken?
You know what? To be honest with you, and I told my husband, I was stronger then than I am now.
Tell me about that. Why
I was more stronger then because I felt like he was so young. I was the only person that could fight for him. So I had a lot of fight in me.
How did your husband deal with it?
Actually, my husband, we weren't together.
Okay.
I was with his dad, but
Well, how
that's
did his
another
dad
story.
deal with it?
Drugs.
So you think
I had to deal with a sick baby and a man on drugs.
But now, was he using the drugs to cope with his son not being well, or was that just his lifestyle?
I believe, let me tell you something. I didn't know at first. I was so caught up into my son going back home to the hospital 5 days a week, from getting chemotherapy to getting platelets to getting blood transfusions 5 days a week. We would go there for 8 hours, if not more, a day. So I didn't really have time to notice or to focus, but I did know that things were being stolen and different things. And he was 13 years older than me, his dad. So, I didn't know he was on drugs. He would like have company at the house, be in another room with the door closed. I'm like, oh, they in there, you know. But being 22 years old or 23, not knowing, being sheltered.
Where was your support system though? Like, was your mom in the
My
picture,
mom.
your aunts and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
my mother, my sister, my aunts, they were all in the picture. But it was like a hidden, like it was like a secret. Like I didn't even realize that he was getting high.
Now, Monique, you said that Miles later passed on from something else.
Miles, okay, Miles went through radiation at 4 years old. His, the tumor came back this time, but in the fourth ventricle, which is the back of your, where the spinal cord meets your brain. And he had lost his function to walk, and he lost his functions to swallow.
Okay.
So he had to go into radiation because now the tumor is spreading. So he went through radiation for 6 weeks, every day for 6 weeks, and he started getting better. He was able to walk, everything was getting back to normal. And he went to remission for a little while, but then he went back into chemo because now it's growing back in the third ventricle again, along with blood transfusions. Because with chemotherapy, it kills the good cells and the bad cells. Right. So we were at the hospital, and what's so crazy is the guy I'm married to now, he used to drive us back and forth through medical transportation.
Look at God.
To the hospital.
Wow.
So Miles actually went into remission after that for 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
7 years. And so he was able to go to school. He was being homeschooled. But when he went into remission, he was able to go to school. I made sure he had like a normal life, like a normal little boy, well, teenager. And then in 2006, it came back. But this time it came back as myelodysplastic syndrome.
And what was your first thought when you found out it came back?
That's when I started saying, why? He's in remission for 7 years. He's 15. He's living his life. He's in school. He's in high school. The school he was in, he made it to 1 year in high school. Why? Like why? Why did we go through it? Like why? I had opened up my first bakery. I got a job teaching, and then his tumor came. Well, the myelodysplastic syndrome, which is pre-leukemia, which is cancer of the blood. And it came back from the previous radiation chemotherapy that he had when he was younger.
It came back because of that?
Yes. Yes. It had nothing to do with the brain tumor. Yes.
It makes me think so many different things. Like, how often does that happen and people don't even know?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I know that Robin Roberts,
yes,
she had the same thing. And the difference with my son and Robin is that Robin's sister was her donor. When Miles was first diagnosed, they didn't know how long he had it. The only reason I knew he had a situation going on is because his lower back was bruised.
Okay.
And I had just sent him to camp with the Valerie funds, which he was getting treatment for a whole week, stay over camp. I'm like, okay, I can sit him down, he's older.
Right.
Because I didn't want to let him go because he was all I had.
That's your baby.
So he came back with bruises, and I laughed now because I called the camp and I left a message saying, you guys are bruised my son, how did you do this? So it ended up going to, I think a rheumatologist,
Okay.
and they said he had erythema nodosum, which is some kind of other disorder. I can't remember right now.
Look, and I'm studying medical terminology, and I don't even know some of the words.
Yeah, so we followed her, but then they did a spinal tap.
Okay.
When they did the spinal tap is when they found out that he had myelodysplastic syndrome. Because the bruising just was not going away, and he had different other side effects. So they told me he had 18 months to live. He needed a bone marrow transplant. So the Jersey City Board of Education, I had just became a teacher in 2006. The principal I had then, he formed a citywide bone marrow drive.
Wow, that's awesome.
From school to school, and they paid for all the refreshments, they paid for everything, and people came out.
Wow.
And nobody was a match. Yes. Nobody. It took 10 months to find a match.
What are you saying to God at this point? Lord, God, you know. What are you thinking?
Actually, I was in just depressed wound. Hey, we are back and we're behind the counter at Sweets for Moms, and this is where all the magic starts
You guys,
or ends.
probably can't see too much of it. I'll take you over here later, but we are buying all of the good stuff. So Monique, you were telling me a little bit about Miles. Miles is 15, and you're saying that you just found out some other things about his health.
Yes. So at 10 months after waiting for a match, he was able to get a match, and it was an anonymous umbilical cord. And instead of it being a bone marrow transplant, it became a stem cell transplant.
Okay.
And we went in the hospital in July. And actually Miles went in walking just like we're talking. He was like, come on, let's get this over with. Let's get this party started. Because that's the type of spirit that he had.
Okay.
He's always smiling and he never complained about anything. He just went and did what he had to do. So I watched him deteriorate. He went and when you get bone marrow transplants, they give you high doses of chemo to kill 80 to 90% of your immune system. So that's what happened. And then with the bone marrow, it usually comes right back up, but his didn't come up quick enough. And when your immune system doesn't come up quick enough, you get infections. So Miles got an infection called aspergillus, which is an environmental infection. We all have it, some form of it, but because his immune system was not high enough, it caused him so many problems. He went in July. I watched him go from needing more surgeries to having bowel obstruction to having multiple organ failure to being on dialysis for 2 days to having big, huge bed sores to being swollen and having toxemia with the fluid just sat in his hands. His hands blew up in his face and different things to talking to going into a coma to not being able to talk or respond or anything. But a few things I will never forget, and Miles used to charge people to come see him, even the doctors. He loved that money. He loved that money. We used to play Connect Four, and I had to pay them every time I was so
listen, I'm not mad at. But listen, you have a customer. This is
hi.
business.
How
So
are
we
you?
have
Come on
customers.
in.
We need the customers. Come on in, customer. We're gonna help you.
Miles used to charge everyone to come see him. The doctors, the nurses, he didn't care who it was.
So he had a nice
I didn't have to pay
change.
him. I didn't have to pay him.
Oh, because you're a mom.
He had a nice piece of change. And when the doctors told me that he had aspergillus and that it was not good, I started calling the family and everybody started coming up. So when Miles was in a room with people, he would say, I need to speak to her and make everyone else leave. So what Miles was doing was setting up people to take care of me because he knew he wasn't going to make it. And people would come and tell me, your son isn't here, so I'm talking about he's going to die. I'm like, he didn't tell me. But on one particular day, right before he went for surgery, he gave me his wallet. And he said, Mom, I don't need this while I'm going. It's all yours. And that was one of the last days he ever spoke. And I sat there every day with not being able, he was not able, no movement, nothing. And then the one last day, it was September the 26th, his anniversary was coming up. Everyone claimed he died and they brought him back. They called me up, I went up, and they told me he needed surgery, and I told them no. But I was really cool with one of the doctors, and he came to me, he said, Monique, don't give up on Miles. It may be one thing that could save him.
Right.
And I said, I don't want to give up on him. Do the surgery. An anesthesiologist came to me and said, I'm not doing the surgery. Let your son die in dignity. He's going to die on the operating table because that's how much of a bad of a shape that he's in. So they told me to call everyone up. I called everyone up. And what's so ironic is we talked about his dad, and his dad had got his life together. He drove trucks. He came that week. Truck broke down. Couldn't go nowhere. The day they called me from the hospital, somebody broke in the truck. He was leaving to go down south. Couldn't go nowhere.
He was forced to deal.
Got the call. I called him. By the time when he got to the hospital, I believe that he was in the hospital door. He didn't make it to the room. But Miles took his last breath. And the one thing that will always stick with me is that the time that Miles laid there and he couldn't talk, my aunt went over to him and said to him, Miles, we love you. As his heart rate was dropping, he shook his head yes and cried, dropped a tear. And she did it twice. And I'll never forget it, ever. And I think that dealing with that is what made me really, I had a struggle. I went through 3 months of depression. I went through more than 3 months of depression, but those 3 months I didn't get out of bed. I stopped baking. I didn't bake nothing. I went to bed crying, woke up crying. I ended up on Xanax. And I went back to work teaching those 5 days after they gave me the 5 days off. I had a nervous breakdown in my classroom. And I had to leave because I was teaching the kids the same age as he was.
And it was too much.
It was too much.
It was too much.
It was too much. But I had a daughter. She was 4 years old. She's 12 now. She'll be 13. And I didn't realize the impact that it had on her.
Mm-hmm.
She went from being a little sister to being the only child.
How does she deal? How does she cope?
Well, I was her only friend. I used to pray to God for her to have friends, but she has friends now. But now, she was only 4, and she only remembers one thing about him. But now I see that when St. Jude's commercials come on, she can't watch them.
It's too much.
When I mention his name, she don't want to hear it. When she sees pictures, oh, I can't do them. And the older she gets,
in time,
right?
In time.
And I didn't realize the impact that it had on her because I was so caught up in my own.
Right.
I had just given up on life, and I had gave up on God.
Really?
I didn't mention him. I'm like, I'm like, how can he do this to me?
Did you ever ask him that?
Yeah.
And what did he say? Because people believe God didn't answer
he didn't really say anything, but let me tell you what he did. My husband, we dated like 20 years ago when Miles was 4, and we always say friends, but he wasn't an elder at the time, but he's an elder. God was like, I'm gonna get you. You don't want to talk to me? I married an elder in the church who's preaching the word up and down.
But that's love. That's love.
Yeah.
God may be, you may be mad at me now, but I love you. I'm coming for you. I'm not going to let you go. I love you.
And that's what he did.
Like God said, I'll never leave you nor
Right.
forsake you. And you may be mad and you may not be talking to me right now, but I never leave you.
Yes.
So now take me from the bitter to the sweet. And literally sweets for Miles. This chick right here, y'all, she can throw down. Tell me about your bakery. How long you been baking? What got you started?
Well, during the time when Miles was sick, I could not hold a job at all. Every time I went to a job, so he got sick, so I had to leave. But I ended up being able to go to culinary school.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one place you were able to go?
That was one place I was able
Wow,
to go.
that's purpose.
And I didn't realize God was setting me up for this time as such. So I was able to go to culinary school, and I used to bake all the time as a teenager. They used to call me Betty Crocker.
Okay.
So I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I went to school for media arts. I went to school for social work. I went to school for English theater, everything. Till I saw this show. I remember. He said, whatever you love, make that your career and you'll love it. So I decided to go to culinary school. It took me longer than usual to go in between the chemo and the radiation. So then my aunts kicked in, my mom kicked in, taking care of him, and I was able to go. So I started baking from home, just for family and friends. And then word of mouth started spreading, and believe it or not, I only started out making cookies only. I wasn't making cakes, brownies, pies, banana pudding, peach cobbers, and stuff like that. I ended up, Miles loved Queen Latifah so much. So I ended up, that was when she had her first show in New York. I called up, I'm like, can Miles, tell him, can you come to the show? You gotta be 18, but he's not older. Instead, she came to my house.
What?
She came to me, and I made chocolate chip cookies for her, and she gave me a job doing the cookies for her green room. That was my first beginning.
Speechless.
Yes.
And you have been running ever since.
Ever since.
Tell us a little bit about your shop, where you are, what you have here.
Sweets for Miles opened in 2000. 14.
Okay.
This is our second location where we relocated to a better neighborhood with more traffic flow. And I specialize in southern desserts. Everything is made from scratch by these hands, my gift from God.
No,
This is my gift from God.
I don't do none of that.
And we make everything here. Peach cobbler, pies, cookies, brownies. Red velvet cake is our #1 cake, our specialty. It's not like anyone else's cake. It just has a flair of its own.
Miles is not physically here on earth, but he's still here.
Yes, he is.
He still lives. And I just kind of look at and think that, everybody that comes in is a celebration of Miles.
Yes.
And his spirit is here. What do you think would be Miles's favorite dessert?
Well, Miles only likes pound cake.
He only likes pound cake.
He likes pound cake, but the reason I named it Sweets for Miles is because when I had my first bakery, which was called the Sugar Cube, Miles used to give out samples. He gave out samples for 2 weeks straight. And everybody knew him. Oh, your mom has a bakery. I'm still known right to this day as Miles' mom.
Okay. That's sweet.
Because he had such an impact.
But now, I know y'all are looking at these sweets and like, okay, can y'all pull out a sweet? So can we sample something on camera? Because Nate likes to eat.
And
so
the taste. What you like? I know you like that banana pudding.
Look, y'all, I love banana pudding. I love red velvet. I love cookies. I love everything she has here. But I'm going to eat a little red velvet cupcake just for all of y'all that's on diets and everything like that. I'll take a little baby one. Okay. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Y'all, this is, now I'm gonna be honest, I cheated. I had one of these cupcakes before and they are divine. And if you're anywhere in northern New Jersey, you have got to come to Sweets for Miles. And Monique is gonna give you the address. Monique, tell everybody where they can find you. Y'all, this is all prim and proper and everything. I don't need none of this.
I have to eat it with a spoon.
Not in the tag. While I'm eating, while I'm feasting, you tell everybody where they can find
Well, we're
you.
located at 410 Martin Luther King Drive in Jersey City. That's near the corner of Virginia Avenue. We're located right next to a light rail, so it's easy access. And we can be reached at 201-325-1410.
Girl, this right here is so moist and so light. Now, I done made a red velvet cupcake myself in the past.
Oh.
I ain't gonna make none anymore. Let me just say that. This is so good. Just one more bite. Girl, you be shaming yourself.
Thank you.
This is awesome. What else do you have here? And we're gonna give y'all a shot. But what? God, that's good.
Banana puddings, peach cobblers. We have a variety of different cupcakes. Coke,
Everything.
peanut butter and jelly, Reese's peanut butter cup, Shortcake shortcake, anything that your heart desires, I can prepare for you. We have brownies, s'mores brownies, regular brownies, Rice Krispie treats, candy apple.
She got it all.
Sweet potato cheesecake. That's another #1 cake.
She has it all. So in essence, you gotta come. You got candy apples too?
Yes.
You guys, you gotta come check out Sweets for Miles.
Candy apples.
She's got candy apples too. So give them the address one more time. And Tate's about to go get her some sweets.
410 Martin Luther King Drive, Jersey City, New Jersey. We're on the corner of Virginia and Martin Luther King, and we're next to a light rail, which will have easy access. My cell number is 201-325-1410. The store number is 201-985-8112. We're open until 9 p.m.
You gotta come and get it. You guys, while we've been filming, people have been outside. There is a line outside the door. So we gotta let these folks come in because they're gonna kick the door in and get these red velvet cupcakes, this banana pudding, all right? But I gotta get mine first. So thank you so much, Monique, for sharing your story. And before you go, I'm just praying that God blesses your business, that God just does exceeding abundantly above all that you could ask or think.
Thank you.
We have to let them come in now.
Yes.
Let's say goodbye, Charlie.
Bye-bye.
Want to find out more about I Ain't That Chick? Visit our website at www.iantthatchick.com.